All right, hold on, let me get some water because I'm dying.
Are you recording? Are you recording?
I'm recording.
All right, let's do the thing.
All right, welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I am your host, Kaylin Clother, and with me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
Alrighty, and we have a very special episode today because
two episodes. Well, talk about two.
Yes, we do. We are talking about the series finale of Legend of Korra. We have those last two episodes for you, which are episode 12, Day of the Colossus, and episode 13, The Last Stand.
Yeah, so the people who joined us over the last 8 months because we were watching Legend of Korra
for 8 whole months.
We're done.
We're done, finally.
So hopefully stick around with us when we review our other shows, which we're going to announce our next show at the end of this episode.
Yes, we will.
So hopefully stick around just because, like, hey, sorry, we're done Legend of Korra. And we're probably not going to review Avatar: The Last Airbender because we've both seen that show.
Yes,
and that's not the point of this show.
That's not the whole point of this show.
No.
We've both seen it.
We might do it eventually, just like for funsies.
Yeah. So do we want to make our announcement now?
I can do it.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Guys, we're doing a live stream.
We're doing a live stream.
Yay. We're doing a live stream, basically going to discuss, in this episode, we're going to discuss mainly just book 4 of Legend of Korra, just like what we thought about it. And the live stream is going to be the whole show. We're going to discuss like what we liked, disliked, mainly all of season 2 we disliked.
Spoiler alert.
How we compare it to the Last Airbender show,
Yeah.
because it's a spinoff.
Yeah.
Also, if you've joined us while we're watching Legend of Korra, this Legend of Korra is actually our second show. Mm-hmm. The first show that we did was Firefly. We might also, if you have questions about that, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So, if you have questions for us that you want answered during the live stream, and you know that you won't be able to tune in, which I'll give a date here. We're going to have a couple announcements. We'll be updating you on Facebook and Twitter. Mm-hmm. But if you're listening right now, that live stream is going to be in January. It's going to be Sunday, January 21st at 5 p.m., and that's Eastern Standard Time because we are on the East Coast of the United States of America.
It's really cold right now, guys.
It's so cold now. It's the whole weekend has been like below zero with the wind chill.
Oh my god.
Below zero Fahrenheit, which is like negative 15 Celsius.
Dang.
So
God, I don't remember to do that math. Anyway.
I just like checked recently because that's the only reason I know.
Yeah, so starting at 5, we're... do we need to say how long we're going to go for or no?
No, we'll go for however long we want to go for. But, we'll be there probably at least an hour. So
definitely at least an hour, probably... No more than 2.
Yeah, but you can come in at any time. You're more than welcome. And if you have any questions for us that you want answered beforehand or you want to ask beforehand, you can leave the questions in this video, really any of our videos. We track our comments. Or you can tweet at us. We are on Twitter at WittyClose. Or you can, I don't know, anything else? It's just the social media.
Facebook, if you want to leave a comment there.
Or you can email us. We are wittyclose@gmail.com.
Yeah, any of those things. Or if you don't have or if you're at the live stream, we'll put up a chat thing. Yeah,
we should have a chat there and you can talk to us. And we're really looking forward to it. I hope that you guys are able to make it.
And it'll be like a nice, chill Sunday.
Yeah, and you can ask any questions, like we said before, Legend of Korra. You can ask your Avatar questions because we're not doing that show. So if you want to talk about Avatar: Last Airbender, I'd be open to talking about that too if you have time.
If you have,
and Firefly too. So. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for that.
For right now, yeah.
Yeah, so let's head over to these last couple episodes. We're going to start with a synopsis of Day of the Colossus.
Ooh.
What is the Colossus? I wonder what it could be. Maybe it's the giant fucking mech.
Giant fucking mech.
Giant fucking mech. GFM. Giant fucking mech. Anyway. So we pick up kind of where we ended off on that last episode. This is after Kuvira just blew the shit out of that hiding spot that Team Avatar was in. But everyone's alive. Spoiler alert, everyone's okay.
Well, not everybody. They're not okay.
Yeah, they're alive.
They're alive.
Yeah.
Because again, guys, family show.
It's a family show. This show stretches that limit sometimes.
It does.
Yeah.
But
still a family show.
Family show, guys.
Because even Nerd Son is okay. He's knocked out, but he's all right.
And he got his brain back, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably, eventually realizes the error of his ways. But is he redeemable?
I mean, it's the end of the show. I don't really care.
Yeah, really. We don't have to answer that question.
He did not get like a fun and redeemable thing like Darth Vader.
Yeah, true. He didn't have a Darth Vader moment
at all.
Really let us down.
I don't care about him. Anyway.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, I like that opening shot with Bolin earthbending like the giant wall.
Yeah.
God, he's such a badass. I feel like Bolin in these episodes really shines bending wise.
He does.
He's such like a good bender, and I love Bolin anyway. So really, we're starting our fight here.
Most of these 2 episodes were kind of just like fight. I think this episode specifically is mainly just like a giant Return of the King fight.
Yeah. But so it's to me it's like it's always hard to like talk about fight scenes because it's like they fight. And it's good.
I mean, yeah, like we just couldn't describe. There was a lot of like spirit shooting thing.
Yeah, and that like mech suit, that whole spirit thing is
like
badass.
I keep forgetting that like the spear gun thingy is like unlimited power.
Yeah,
I always forget that because like usually a lot of times like when you see like them like with their big weapon, they constantly shooting it off. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you're like by the end it's like, oh no, we're out of power, and I'm like, well, you just kept shooting it.
Yeah.
But then I keep forgetting, like, oh, right, unlimited.
Well, the first introduction that we have of the spirit vine things is Varric wanting to use it as a source of renewable energy. So it is very renewable in that it never goes out, which is great on one hand, but also if you're using it as a giant weapon, sucks for some people.
That'd be good for, like, power outages.
Yeah.
Like one of, like, use it as, like, a generator.
Yeah, it'd be great. Wish we got some spirit energy. Tired of paying for the heating and cooling, I say, as if I pay rent. I don't. I live with my parents anyway.
Anyway, there was some fighting. People got injured, mainly airbenders.
Yeah.
Milo came up with a decent idea for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Milo has the idea of to blind the giant mech with paint and balloons.
It's a good idea. It didn't work.
It worked temporarily. We got a 2-second distraction out of it. You know, not that bad. Then
people got injured. Opal got injured. I thought she was gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Opal had like a weird moment where you're like, is she okay? Oh no, she's good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Well, I was just like, look, Bolin's being such a badass. He doesn't deserve to lose his girl that he recently got back. Mm-hmm. Good times.
Yeah. And before, we don't just have the giant mech suit, we have a whole kind of army of mecha suits that are also kind of terrorizing the city. Mm-hmm. And so then we have that side plot with the citizens who are trying to evacuate, and Pema and Wu who are leading them. And but the problem is they can't get out of the city because the train tracks have been destroyed by Kuvira.
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't mind this side plot. Because, like, everything else is just, like, fight, mm-hmm. and, like, really depressing, kind of. I'm like, at least there's some comedy, mm-hmm. and it's not bad comedy.
Right.
And, you know, Wu did something.
Wu did a thing. Good for him, I guess.
Yeah. This is already going all over the place.
We are all over the place right now, aren't we?
I think, well, because we kind of watch the episodes, like, back-to-back.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, wait, which plots are with which episode?
Well, and especially like we said, this is a lot of just like fighting and stuff, which is good. It looks great. The fights are great. It's well choreographed. It's a ton of people because we don't just have our main cast. We have like the whole, like basically the whole Air Nation.
Yeah.
Some airbenders we've seen before and some I don't think we've seen before. They've been really in the background, so I don't even recognize them. And they all look great. I love seeing kind of the Air Nation in action because obviously we don't see that a lot, especially before book 3. So to see that kind of coordinated attack is really cool.
Yeah, they saved a lot of money from those still shots and the clip show.
I feel so bad for this show and its budget problems.
Me too.
They don't deserve this.
But they used them. Look, they used whatever they had. They used it reasonably well. And they did what they had to do.
Looks great. Honestly, if you compare this show with a lot of animated shows on today, like this show is stunning.
Yeah.
Like it's so good, especially with all adult animation because all adult animation looks terrible. That's my opinion.
Like adult show animation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like Family Guy, Rick and Morty. Like there's shows like that.
I think they make Rick and Morty. I don't know. I don't really watch any of those. Like I still watch a couple.
Styles.
Rick and Morty probably makes up for the fact that it's funny.
Yeah, well that's the thing. I mean, this is kind of a tangent here, but like they try to be like, oh, it's more about like the humor and stuff, but like they don't need to be that ugly. They're all so ugly. They don't have to be. Like, where's our like imaginative kind of animation anyway?
Where's Disney when you need it?
Honestly, why can't
Do you want Disney to take over more of the world?
I don't. They've already done too much.
Anyway, back to the show.
Disney, you can't buy me.
Well,
or you could, honestly. Yeah, you could. If you're gonna pay me a lot of money. I'm only human.
Anyway.
Where the fuck are we?
But guys, I don't know if it sounds like this. We're not drunk.
We're recording this. It's what, like 12 o'clock? No, it's 1:30.
I was about to say, no, I got here at 12.
On a Sunday afternoon.
We have a drink.
Oh my god. A lot of fighting. Anyway.
That was the main part. There's not much to talk about with like this episode just because if there was just a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, it looked great. Mm-hmm. Totally. You'll see our reactions to it. Mm-hmm. I think there were some parts where I went like, oh shit. Yeah. A bunch.
Yeah, well, we'll get to some of those kind of oh shit moments later on in this episode because there's definitely one. One thing that's of a note is that when Kuvira kind of blew up that place they were in, they blew up all of the hummingbird mech suits.
That's what they were called.
Yes.
Okay.
They're like dragonfly hummingbirds, I think, but we just call them the hummingbird mech suits. Okay. Which is those thing that Asami and Varric were working on. Mm-hmm. That was kind of their big project, but most of them are gone except for the prototypes and they try to Future Industries.
Yeah, and
they're trying to go and get those ready for work-ins.
Yeah.
A lot of these characters are now kind of situated at Future Industries. This is where we have the scene of Batar Jr. and Su-Yin, where Batar wakes up and goes, "Oh man, I messed up, didn't I?" And Su-Yin's like, "It's all right."
It's all right. The power of vagina is a strong power.
She understands that. She understands.
Yeah, like her husband's kind of, wimpy. She understands.
Well, some kind of power play was in place there. Anyway. God,
they love each other.
What a lady.
God, I still don't care about Nerd Son.
So on the rooftop of the factory, this is where we have a scene with Varric and Julie. And Varric's trying to tell Julie something, but he's kind of beating around the bush about it. And he goes into his whole life story. I thought that was really funny.
It was. I like that.
But he uses that. He has an ostrich horse named Mrs. Beaks. Great. Never tell you I grew up on a farm. I'm like, okay, this is stunning. Do you like gladiators? They use this opportunity. Varric is able to create a giant EMP, which takes out all of the mech suits, but not the giant one.
No.
The giant one is still operational because of something. And
spirit power.
Oh yeah, spirit power.
Finite energy.
Yeah. The spirit vines aren't really an electrical kind of power source, so EMPs don't work.
No.
And then we have that line where Varric tells Julie to do the thing, and Julie ominously replies that there are no more things left to do.
Aww.
And that's when we know that shit got real.
Shit got real.
When you can no longer do the thing. I love how that line's kind of become a running joke in this show,
especially like for them. It's just kind of cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like that. It's like that line that like couples might say to each other, like that one thing that like It's like it's cute. I like it.
So they're kind of getting some info on the mech suit from Nerd Son, and then he's saying that it's basically unstoppable. But we find out that they are able to get through the platinum outer shell from none other than Hiroshi Sato.
Hey, buddy.
Who's this guy?
Well, he was already in the show. He was already in this series one.
He was in
season,
the season.
Whatever.
Yeah. Hold on. So what happened is that Lynn kind of busted him out of jail because he's a genius and they're going to need all the help they can get.
Is it busted or just like, yo, I'm the sheriff, let me get him out?
She was just like, hey, do you mind? And you're fine.
I was worried that like there was going to be some kind of argument, and I'm just like, guys, we don't have time for this. And then everybody else realized we don't have time for an argument. We got a giant mecha suit to fight.
Everybody is so mature here, and they're just so like, mature. All right, you do your thing.
I loved it. Even Korra, like, she had like that look on her face, and I'm just like, honey, like, we cannot get into an argument right now.
She's looking out for Asami.
Yeah, and she's like, you know what? All right, we'll worry about this later. We gotta fight the fucking mecha suit.
You gotta fight the power.
The giant fuck off mecha
fight
suit.
The powers that be.
Cool.
So Hiroshi comes in and he basically comes up with the plan. He has an idea of how they can take down this mecha suit using plasma saws to get through the platinum outer shell of the giant mech, which because he knows a thing or two about platinum, because if you remember in book 1, they had that giant platinum wall where the metal couldn't get out. So see, I pay attention. I know what the show's about.
I remembered. I think. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh gosh, what was the episode called?
I don't know.
The Aftermath.
There's
the Aftermath? The Aftermath. See, I'm good at the show.
There's such few shows where I remember the actual name of the episode.
This one I'm like okay with, but usually Avatar: Last Airbender. At one point, I could name like every episode, start to finish, of all 3 seasons, because I'm crazy, and also it's my favorite show.
Usually, it shows if it's like a famous episode, I remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But then, for the most part, I'm just like, I don't remember.
So then they're going to use the plasma saws to kind of create a hole just for enough people to sneak through and get in. So that's kind of the plan. And so we're back at the train station now. And Pema's singing old Airbender songs because she's such a mom. Like, do you see her just like, oh, that's a mom right there.
Pema doesn't like do much in this series, but like I still love her.
I know. She's just like a good, she's just good. She's good. And after they're kind of sitting there for a while, we see the entrance of 2 badger moles.
Hooray!
Atop them, Wu and Tu are on the backs of 2 badger moles, and they got them from the zoo because apparently they love Wu's singing. Not a lot of humans do.
Here's the thing.
But the badger moles do.
Wu's not a terrible singer.
He kind of is.
I don't think he's not, I feel like if he got some training, got like a good vocal coach, he could get good.
He could.
His songwriting skills are shit.
He's got to put his mind to it.
Yeah. But like, it feels like he's like progressing a bit as a character, and his annoyingness is like, actually he's using it to help people. Mm-hmm. Good for you, boy.
So the one thing we know about badger moles is that they are able to dig tunnels. Badger moles who live in the tunnels. So
that's the plan, to get everybody out from.
That's how they're going to evacuate from Republic City, because it's kind of a shit show out there. Because there's this giant cannon thing that's blowing all buildings up. Like, people need to get the hell out of the city.
There's so much property damage, guys.
So much,
and like not much, like people damage.
Yeah.
Like, not like, Batman v Superman. God.
Oh, no.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Man of Steel.
I haven't seen Man of Steel.
Good, you're not missing anything.
I've only seen 2 of the DC movies. And that's about it.
Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
All you need to see is Wonder Woman. That's all you need to see. Like, you're not missing anything with the rest of them.
I kind of want to see Suicide Squad. I feel like it's...
You have to, like, just watch it just for, like, the shits and giggles, but don't go into it.
That's what I feel like. I feel like I'd actually be entertained by that movie.
It's all right.
Like, no,
it's entirely like, I've seen it.
I feel like I'd be entertained by how bad it is.
It's not even, like, so bad it's good, though. At least in my opinion. I don't want to ruin it for you. That's just
I literally know what happens in the movie. I don't care.
Humble opinion. Anyway. So.
More fighting?
More fighting.
God, there's so much fighting.
Hold on. Sorry. I want to make sure I get this right.
Okay.
So we miss... Okay, yeah, okay. Now I'm going to have to erase that last 2 minutes. Great, thanks, me. Future me is going to love editing this. Future me, God.
This episode feels like really random already.
It does.
I feel like once we get to the last episode where there's a bit more plot...
Yeah.
I feel like...
We'll have some more things to talk about. But, yeah, so before we release... the hummingbird mechs, Batar Jr. Kind of gives them a little more insight, but what's the best way to shut down the giant mech? And then that's when we see, we have the 2 hummingbird mechs. We have Sami and Hiroshi getting the one, and then Varric and Julie getting the other one. Mm-hmm. But before that happens, we have this scene where Varric finally gets the chutzpah to... you
didn't even say that right.
How do you say it?
The chutzpah.
The chutzpah. Guys, I'm learning.
You gotta get.
Thanks for teaching me.
I don't know if you're trying to. I don't know if it's chutzpah. It seems more like cajones.
Cajones.
One of those.
Anyway, the culturally insensitive white bitch is talking now.
I mean, I'm white and I know.
Anyway,
and I'm more basic than you.
That's true.
That's
true.
That is so true. And I'm not even that basic. I just enjoy manicures and pumpkin spice lattes.
This part, we didn't even get to this part.
We're just going back and forth.
We're going back and forth. I hate everything. Okay. Before we break out the hummingbirds, there's a, God, I'm sorry.
You're editing it.
I'm so sorry. I'm editing this and I hate myself.
Keep going.
I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that line in. I probably will. Oh. Just so I can let all of you know how much I hate myself. No, because there's just a lot more fighting. And then the animation, it's fucking fighting. Yeah, there it is. Then we have a thing with the badger moles, and then as they're digging the tunnel, they have the Earth Empire people come, and they're like, you're under arrest, and Wu's like, please stop singing, because it's fucking terrible. And then Wu does a little distraction, the badger moles help them.
The end. Yeah, the end.
And then...
the thing.
There it is.
And then the thing.
Yeah, and then the thing happens where as the hummingbird mechs are getting ready to go, Varric proposes to Julie.
Aww.
How do you feel about this? Because I know you weren't a huge Varric and Julie shipper.
I wasn't like, it was just kind of like, I like the idea of just like a family kids show where they clearly just had like two people who were friends, but it was it was pretty obvious that they were just doing it.
Yeah, with benefits.
But they were just like, work buddies who were doing it.
Yeah.
I just kind of enjoyed it, but I really don't mind it.
Yeah.
That they went down this route.
Mm-hmm.
It just like wasn't like 100% obvious, or not 100%. Again, like I kind of just like liked the idea of just obviously they were doing it and we're just gonna hide that.
Yeah,
but it's not like a horrible thing. I'm not like mad. It just happens.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah,
and he had a nice ring.
He did. That ring was pretty.
It was.
Yeah, and then he asks her if she will do the thing for the rest of their lives. That's cute.
And by thing,
they mean they're fucking.
Okay.
They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing the thing.
They're boning.
They're boning for the rest of their lives. I'm happy for them.
Granted, like, Varric's really eccentric and Julie's kind of not. They probably balance each other out.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think they make a good couple.
They do. It's fine. I'm not.
I hope they sign the prenup.
They'll be together forever. Don't worry about it.
And then we have this scene. God, we're finally here. I'm so sorry. I hate myself so much. With the hummingbird mechs, and they are kind of flying around and trying to cut a hole into the plasma mech suit. But Varric and Julie are kind of swatted away, and they have to kind of eject and fly out. And then Asami and Hiroshi kind of get in, and they're almost able to do it. But Kuvira is obviously going to splash the splish-em.
Yeah.
Smash. Splash.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Splat?
Splat.
Squash is a better word.
Squash them. But Hiroshi's very determined, and he tells his daughter he loves her. And then he ejects the seat. And then she fucking kills him. Kuvira, that is. Kuvira fucking kills Hiroshi. Just like that. We saw it on screen, folks. We saw a giant hand come up and just crush a man.
I kind of saw that coming.
On screen. Oh, yeah, I know, same.
Like, literally, here's the thing. Like, the second that Varric, like, pulled, like, the two lever thing to eject them, I'm like, oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I saw, that's why I wasn't that sad. I'm just like, I saw, like, I could see it coming. Like, I'm sad. Like, it was a well-done scene.
Yeah.
Like, it was emotional.
Yeah.
And, I'm glad that Asami and Hiroshi were okay.
Closure, yeah. They work things out.
And he died a hero.
He did die a hero.
Good for him.
I think
minus the death part.
I think when I first saw this, as soon as they brought Hiroshi back in that last episode, I was like, oh no. They're gonna kill him.
Well, like when they brought him back the first time, I was kind of like, why that was a random thing, and then they brought him again, and I'm just like, I didn't think about it. Mm-hmm. I just, didn't. And then once I saw the ejecting thing, I'm just like, oh, well, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. That's it. He's dead. But his sacrifice is not in vain. He's able to cut the hole through the suit. Yep. And Korra, Mako, Bolin, Lin, and Suyin are able to get inside. And that's where we end this episode.
Finally!
This has been 26 minutes, but the amount you know how much I'm cutting out of this? Probably like 10 minutes of me just going like, fuck, I don't know what's going on.
Has it been? It feels like it's only been like 15 minutes.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Should we just go to the next episode? There wasn't that much there was fighting.
You kind of have to talk about these episodes, like, because it really is a two-parter. So
here's what we'll say about this episode before we jump to the next one and take our like to break and then the next episode. It was really, really pretty. Mm-hmm. The fight scenes were awesome.
Yeah.
We went with the scenes that were supposed to be emotional were emotional.
Yes.
It was a well done episode. It's just hard to talk about an episode where there's a lot of fighting.
Yes.
It looked good.
Yeah, it's hard. There's not a lot you can say other than this part was cool, or I liked when they did the thing with the rock. Yeah. And that's it. That's the show.
Especially in like an audio format where it's really hard.
Because you can't show it. You just have to be like, this was cool, and just take our word for it.
All right, final episode.
All right, wait. Let's take a break real quick.
That's what I'm... Okay, break. Then final episode.
All right, stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We are going to be talking about the 13th and final episode of The Legend of Korra, Book 4 Balance.
52nd episode of Legend.
We were just talking about, this is episode number 52. There's 52 episodes in this series. Mm-hmm. Oh, and you know what date this episode aired?
When?
On my birthday!
Yay!
The finale aired on December 19th, 2014. That was my birthday. I'm not going to tell you all which one. But...
Wait, what year was it again?
2014.
Okay. Why? Do you know what people do their age? I'm older than you. Like, if people should not worry about my age.
I want to tell people the year I was born. I don't need them like looking up all that info about me. But I think I mentioned before how old I am.
You're the baby.
I am. Yes, I am. I am a baby. But anyway, so this was like the best fucking birthday present. I don't think that this is this is the best birthday present ever, honestly.
I don't know. I got you that Batman hat one year.
That was good.
That was I don't think that was
I think that was Christmas, though.
That was Christmas present.
Okay, yeah. So this still stands.
I got you that really dumb Batman hat.
I still have it. It's upstairs.
With the mask.
Yeah. I don't think it fits on my head that well because I have a big head. Anyway.
I don't know. I got it at FYE.
So, The Last Stand. Let's talk about it.
X-Men The Last Stand?
No, not that. Let's not talk about that.
I again, haven't seen that movie.
Good. You're not missing out on anything.
Anyway, let's talk about this episode.
Okay.
Let's get this done. We can do it.
Let's get this done. Okay. So, this is... Oh, yeah. So, where we last left off... before they had put the hole in the mecha suit, Korra had bent a lot of ice around it, so it was immobilized. So right now the mech suit's trying to break free.
Yeah.
So the Korra and the crew get together and they kind of divvy up responsibilities. So Korra's going to go get Kuvira. Mm-hmm. Sue and Lin are going to try to disable the weapon, and Mako and Bolin are going to try to shut this thing down.
Yes. So
we all have a job here.
Except for Asami, although she did her job.
Yeah, she's somewhere. She's
probably a bit sad now.
Yeah, her dad just fucking died.
Like, you know what? Let's give her a break.
Yeah, no, she gets a pass on this one. Mm-hmm. She's done enough. Mm-hmm. God, I love her. Anyway.
We know.
I love her so much. Just in case anybody hasn't listened to us before and doesn't know how much I love Asami Sato. Anyway.
If we ever go to a convention and meet the voice actress, you're just gonna...
Cry a lot.
And I'm just gonna bring up the fact
her voice actress is so pretty too.
I'm just gonna bring up the last Airbender movie.
Oh
and
no!
Be that bitch.
No,
I won't.
She's too good for that.
Can I bring up the penis hair?
Don't bring out the penis hair. The worst hair.
Okay, guys, 10,000 subscribers. 10,000. We're gonna watch the last Airbender movie.
We're gonna do it.
I'm gonna watch it for the first time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see it for more than once, which is the real tragedy.
Why'd you watch it more than once?
It's a long story. Thought maybe it wouldn't be as bad the second time. It was worse the second time.
What?
Anyway.
Anyway.
I was like 15 when that movie came out. Like, I've grown a lot as a person since.
Hey, we'll talk about a good show?
Yeah, let's talk about this good show. Let's talk about this finale here. So in the engine room where Bolin and Mako are, they have this, it's basically just this big lump of spirit vines.
It
looks
like
glowy
a brain.
Purple thing. It does look like a brain.
It looked like a brain.
I think that was that looks like it was a very conscious design choice.
Okay.
Because it could have looked like one giant branch, but it definitely looks like a brain, which is, it's kind of cool, actually. We see the brothers kind of go fighting, trying to take down this thing. I love Bolin's kind of like lava wheel thing that he has.
Yeah.
Like, that was so cool. Like,
because it seemed like something that both him and Mako were using.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
That was my always thing, because like lava, there's like fire in it, so I was wondering, like, could they like tag team a bit? Not like what, like he could like, I don't know, get the fire out of the lava.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would be really cool. We don't get to see that explored at all, which I really wish we would have.
Maybe there's like another series. Oh, I just thought it was something else we probably should have said in the live stream announcement, but we can make it. Well, because we were also gonna. I remember you wanted to discuss something about like the next Avatar show.
Oh yeah, we have our we're totally gonna pitch our theories
for another Avatar.
For another Avatar
we'll do it not in this episode. We'll do it. We'll say it in the live stream video.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write out a little thing for that so we know what we're saying. Anyway, so yeah, so then we see there's a fight in the engine room. That's all you need to know, and then we see Lin and Su-yin who are trying to disable the weapon.
Which they do.
Yeah, they are able to because even though the outside is platinum, the inside, they can do whatever the hell they want to it.
Was that really smart on Kuvira's part?
I mean, there's only so much platinum in the world. It's a pretty, rare metal. So I think the way I'm not sure if we talked about this, the way that they built that mecha suit is the platinum was actually the domes for Zaofu.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, so when they took over Zaofu, there's a really throwaway line about, hey, what happened to the domes?
I remember that.
Yeah.
But, how did they get the domes up then if it's made of platinum?
It's probably so it's
not like metal bending.
No, it's not metal bending. It's a city of metal benders. Maybe don't want to make it so the whole city you can tear apart if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what that's made out of, and there's not a ton of platinum in the world. So the insides are unfortunately made of metal, so metal benders can just go in there and fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the Beifong sisters do. God, I love them.
And they're not dead.
They're not dead.
Hooray!
Yeah, they are able to disable the weapon, and then it prevents the whole arm from moving. So what Kuvira does, she just takes the arm, rips it off, and chucks it all the way across town. And conveniently, it lands in the woods somewhere. Not that that's important. But Lin and Su are still in the arm when she chucks it, but Lin's able to metal bend the both of them inside, so they're more secure. They're unconscious, but they are still alive when it lands. So that's good.
Yep.
And so this is when Korra gets to the cockpit, and they start duking it out, and it's such a good fight scene.
It's a good fight scene. And that's also, again, basically just a fight.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. It's just a fight, but it's a very well done fight.
Well, and I think it's such an interesting dynamic they kind of have between the two of them, because as we kind of discussed this later in the episode, but Korra and Kuvira have a lot of similarities, and I feel like this fight kind of shows that in the way that they fight, because they feel very evenly matched. And I know we've gotten a comment saying that, like, why Korra should have been able to beat Kuvira easily, and we can talk about that
during that fight scene, not the last fight scene, but the one earlier.
Just in general, I think we had a comment about, like, for the whole season, like, Korra should have been able to beat Kuvira. But the fact is they are similar. So they fight similarly. So they always are kind of, like...
I mean, like, I'll bring this up, but, like, in the earlier fight scene, like, she was still dealing with the PTSD.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, because she couldn't defeat her then, I'm like, okay, you know what, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And here, because they're just, like, there's, like, yeah, so, like, they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, and so it's a really cool back and forth, and you can kind of see how similar they are just in how they fight, and that's a really cool thing to explore visually, I guess. And also we see, I love the design of, like, how the controls of the mech work, like, and how, like, those little panels that they look like eyes almost. Do you get that vibe?
Yeah.
They look like eyes, and they're filled with meteorites. Like the whole meteor collection that Su-yin had.
She took her meteor collection?
She took her meteors.
That's just mean.
Yeah. So that whole meteor collection that
her and her father probably worked really hard on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That took me a second. It's a theory. My personal headcanon. Anyway. So, yeah, and that's how she controls it, which is so cool. And it's just, like, a really interesting design. I have no idea how that would actually work logistically.
Who cares?
But who cares? It looks cool.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. So, and they start fighting with them too, and it's really cool to see. Like, the meteorite is such, like, a cool material because it has almost, like, a very, like, liquidy property to it. Yeah. Because, like, you made the comment that it looks almost like the poison. Yeah. It's not, but it looked like it, and so that it has a really cool effect when you start bending it. Yeah. So I like that. It's just a really cool visual thing. So back in the engine room, we have Mako and Lin are fighting again, and they are able to take down the levers. The guys, and then they pull the levers, which is what they were supposed to do. That's what Patar told them. But the whole system has been overridden, and they are unable to control right there. So they have to figure out a way to take this thing down. So Mako's like, all right, y'all get out of here.
I'm going to zap this.
I'm going to zap this thing with some lightning.
This scene was so nice.
It was good because...
Bolin's kind of like, you don't need to prove that you're awesome. Like, I already know you're awesome. I mean, we don't. Well, Yeah. Like, I know, like, some comments, like, we might trash talk Mako a bit much. I do like him. Yeah. The only time he's a horrible character is when he's broody Mako. Yeah. Or a boyfriend. Yeah. Any other time okay, so if it's not those two, he's great.
Yes, exactly. Like Detective Mako.
Detective Mako is fantastic.
Detective Mako is best.
And like
Mako.
I pointed out, like we haven't really gotten much like brother interactions since like season 1.
Yeah,
they've both been doing their own thing.
Yeah. They've both been like kind of independent characters, which is kind of nice in that, you know, we don't just focus on them being brothers. They're not kind of a package deal.
I think just like
they have their own development, but also we don't really get to see a lot of interaction between them.
Sometimes like I forget that they're brothers.
Yeah, honestly.
I guess like probably like when they went to go see their family in season 3, that was a bit.
Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and also probably because like they're not drawn, like they look similar, but they're not drawn like identical. Yeah. So like it's kind of, you just forget sometimes. Yeah. That they're actually, and it was just like a really nice scene.
Yeah, and it's just like a really good scene where just they're being brotherly.
And I was actually concerned because like I'm like, if they're gonna kill off any major character, the one I can only see is Mako. Mako, yeah. He was the one I could see dying.
They kind of set it up like that too. So
yeah, I'm glad. But like, spoiler, he doesn't die. Yeah, he gets injured.
He's okay. Yeah. He does get it. His hand gets kind of crispy.
I was like, I hope Bolin comes and saves him, and then he did.
And that kind of comes full circle, too, because, you know, Bolin tries to make a point to Mako that you don't always have to be, you know, the hero. You don't always have to put yourself out there. And Mako's like, I don't want to argue about this. But in the end, Bolin comes back to save them, and he's the real hero here. Well, they're both the hero.
They're both the Mako, you know what? Mako did a good job.
Mako did a great job, and Bolin did a great job, and they're both really good.
I think it was, like, partly him and then, like, whatever Korra did that kind of, you know, caused the thing that happens.
Mm-hmm. The thing.
That you'll bring up as soon as you finish drinking your water.
You mean the part where it blows the fuck up?
Yeah. That probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah, boom. So Mako is able to override the whole thing, and that causes the core to explode, and Kuvira and Korra are still fighting, and they go a-flying.
Hooray! Well,
so this thing explodes. It just goes crazy, and but Korra and Kuvira end up in the. They don't end up in there. They kind of end up on the ground, and
something happens.
Something happens.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah. Well, I know that they kind of are both unconscious, and Korra comes to, and she tries to talk to Kuvira, and Kuvira's like, "Oh, fuck you," and throws a rock at her and runs away, and they end up in the woods, the spirit wilds.
Oh, right. I forgot. There was like multiple explosions, weren't there?
Yeah, there's a few explosions.
All right.
Yeah, so they end up in the spirit wilds, which one thing that's also there is
the laser thing,
the giant laser gun,
and she gets like up on a thing, like on like mines, really quickly. Yeah, that thing. See, and it's made out of platinum. Yeah. How?
I don't know.
Is it like the Batman thing?
What Batman thing?
Like, you know, how did Batman get here? Real quick. Answer. He's Batman.
Yeah, it's Kuvira.
All right. How did I explain to myself the entire of The Dark Knight Rises? He's Batman.
Yeah. Well, this is Kuvira, so she's able to get it, and she, in a fit of probably poor thinking, she just like sticks this giant cannon on Korra and tries to blow her up, but Korra gets out of the way, and so just a bunch of shit that starts blowing up. And like she tries to get it, and
I thought like the spirit vines were gonna start fighting back.
Yeah, because we had this discussion, like, you know, if Kuvira is heading into the wilds, Kuvira's done a lot of shit to piss off the spirits. You know, kind of maybe the spirits are gonna have their revenge. Maybe was how we're gonna end it. I brought back Princess and the Frog, because I started thinking of Dr. Facilier and Friends on the Other Side kind of thing.
Got friends on the other side.
Are you ready?
Yeah, na, na, na.
Are you ready? But that's not what happens. She finds the thing. But as the spirit cannon is going off, it starts to interact with all of the spirit vines because they're made of the same material. Yeah. And they start glowing. And Korra's like, hey, you should turn that thing off. And she's like, oh, I can. And I'm like, no shit.
Yeah. What did everybody tell you?
And that starts blowing up.
And then Korra does a thing.
And the thing starts, Kuvira is about to get blasted, but Korra steps in to save her. And Korra is able to bend the spirit energy.
So much spirit energy.
Which is something that's been alluded to early in the series. Like in Book 2 Spirits. So, you know, she had that kind of control over the spirit world. And there's
no, it's something she could always do. It just kind of... depending on how well she could do it.
Yeah, and then in an early episode, the one with Zahir, he makes a comment about having control over the spirit world or whatever. So the Avatar, being, kind of part spirit, does have that ability to kind of shape spirits in the spirit world. And so, she can fucking bend spirit energy, which is some dope shit. So, and that's what happens. And, but the thing, the energy keeps on growing, and it creates this giant explosion that everybody has to run away from. And thankfully everybody knows how to run away from things. Yeah, I think this was the
giant explosion I was thinking about, not the other one.
Yeah, yeah. And so everybody knows not to run directly away from it. You get off the path of it. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Everybody in the series is not a moron. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't mind that when that happens, because I think at that point you're just thinking holy shit explosion and then to panic mode. Mm-hmm. So if somebody just runs away from it, I'm not super surprised, because you don't know what you're gonna do when you're in a panic mode.
That's true. Probably cry a lot. Just fetal position. But this explosion has some other effect. It creates a new spirit portal.
Ooh.
Right in the middle of Republic City.
Well,
that's fine.
Look, we got a new airport. For a vacation, maybe. Who knows?
Oh my goodness. So, but once that's cleared, the other characters kind of come out and they're able to look around. They start looking for Korra and they can't find her, but the spirits are back now. We see the spirits kind of emerging from the spirit portal.
Hey, look, the spirits are back. Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for all the help, assholes. So Korra and Kuvira are nowhere to be found, but we kind of flash to them and they are in the spirit world.
Hooray! And they're not dead. And
we kind of have this interesting conversation between Korra and Kuvira, where Korra's trying to convince Kuvira that they're similar. That they have, and Kuvira's like, nah, we're nothing alike. And then Korra's like, no, we a lot alike. That's what this whole season's about.
Yeah,
literally, it's called balance. That's what this whole thing's about. And so I think it's interesting here that one note is that they kind of bring up Kuvira's backstory a little bit here.
Yeah,
and she's like, oh, I can't imagine what it's like because you were an orphan, your parents abandoned you, and Kuvira's like, hey, shut the hell up.
But then you were raised by a really nice, because wasn't it Sue kind of raised her?
Yeah, Sue took her in and raised her.
So it was raised her by a really nice lady, even though that wasn't your parent. They still probably loved you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have feelings.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to talk about them now or later?
I mean, it's kind of just the villain thing as a whole.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk book 4.
Okay.
How's that? Yeah, because I have thoughts too. But let's finish this.
I like the scene though. Very nice scene.
It is.
Well acted. Voice acted.
Oh yes.
Oh well.
Janet Varney and Zelda Williams, fantastic job. Zelda Williams, I can't every time. She just does such a great job of Kuvira. I feel like I have to always mention that.
Yeah,
she does. She has to do more voice work. I don't think I've heard her in anything recently. Maybe I just don't pay attention.
She should be in a Legend of Zelda video game.
Come full circle.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, they kind of bring up an interesting point where Kuvira kind of reveals that kind of rejection from her parents, and then she's like, "Oh, you're the Avatar. You're adored by millions. You don't understand what it's like to have people don't want you." And that's kind of how that, and we can see that's kind of some of the motivation for why she took up kind of heading up the Earth Kingdom or the Earth Empire.
She was wanting to be adored.
Not even that, but she didn't want the Avatar was missing, and Sue wasn't stepping up to take over when the Earth Queen was killed. So it felt like the nation itself was being cast aside. So she didn't want to see that because it kind of paralleled her being cast aside. Yeah. So that's why she took that up. Yeah. So which is interesting. I'm going to talk more about that later.
Yeah, me too. I don't have super strong. It's not super strong feelings about it.
Yeah,
it's just a little bit of feelings.
Yeah, and so, but outside of the spirit portal, we see kind of Team Avatar is walking around and looking for Korra. But Korra and Kuvira emerge from the spirit portal, and Kuvira basically says,
"We're done.
We're done here. We good." And they are able to take Kuvira under arrest, and
I was kind of thinking she was gonna die.
Yeah.
Mainly because, if you think about it, most of the villains have died in this show.
Yeah.
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 Only Zahir is still alive.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, is she gonna die?
Mm-hmm. But she didn't need to.
She didn't need to die. I just thought she was gonna.
Yeah. But she didn't. And that's interesting.
But anyway, we saved the day and we got a new spirit portal.
Yay!
Now the people of Republic City don't have to travel to like the North or South Pole for their spirit world vacations.
Speaking of vacations,
well, no, we got to get to something else.
So then we transition into a lovely wedding.
Yay!
Julie and Varric finally get married.
With Bolin officiating.
Bolin's officiating.
How is he?
How did he get ordained? The answer is internet.
Is there internet in this universe?
Maybe he invented it for the sole purpose of getting ordained so he could marry these two.
It was a nice wedding.
It was a very nice wedding. They had some nice vows to each other. It was just cute. They were very cute. It's a big wedding. We see a ton of characters that we know there, like all like the Tenzin and his family, some leaders of some nations. The Beifongs are there. Just a lot of people. And then, so they kiss the bride and it's all good. And then we see that there's the party afterward. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed that band had a ton of familiar characters in it.
Yeah.
We had Tano, who was playing the trumpet. We had the two idiot cops were in that band.
Oh, okay.
We had Hasuk was in there. He was playing the clarinet. Hasuk was all the way from book 1.
Yeah. I kind of like with animation that you can just like get a character back and you don't have to like get the voice actor.
Yeah, exactly. We can't afford Rami Malek. We'll just put this face in there.
Was Mr. Robot on at this point?
I think so.
No.
Or, well, Rami Malek's still been in a bunch of things before that.
Yeah, but he did get super big till Mr. Robot.
Yeah, true.
He's about to be Freddie Mercury now. In that new biopic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's playing Freddie Mercury.
Good for him.
I like him.
Oh, good.
He's pretty.
Good job, Rami Malek. He is pretty.
You know, he's a twin brother.
Yeah, I think I saw that before.
I saw on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're almost done.
We're getting distracted. So anyway, there's a ton of characters here that pop up. It's good. And then we finally see the baby again.
He's not a baby.
He's not a baby.
Where's he been?
He's so big.
Like, who was taking care of this child when all this shit was going down?
Where is this kid? They just wrote him out of the show so they didn't have to
You could have had him with his mother. It's fine.
It's fine.
Granted, like, they did, like, models, they did kind of look about, like, 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyway,
also, we never found out if the baby was an airbender or not.
Oh, yeah. We never found that out.
I feel like since the spirit stuff happened, probably.
Oh, yeah. There's a good chance of him being an airbender. So, and then we see Mako starts talking to Wu and, says, like, hey, you did a good job out there. So, it's going to be whatever. Good job. Mm-hmm. And then Korra kind of walks when they start talking, and then we find out that Wu doesn't really want to be the king of Ba Sing Se or the Earth Kingdom. Mm-hmm. He thinks democracy is way better. He's done with this, and he
likes the idea of democracy.
Yeah,
and we're all like,
yay, democracy,
good for you,
USA.
The Earth Kingdom will finally not be corrupted.
Yay.
Well,
probably still corrupt because it's the Earth Kingdom or the Earth Nation. What are they going to call it now? Probably the Earth Republic, because they're going to do
probably.
Yeah, it's going to be like a. It's going to be like.
Well, he said he wanted like independent cities.
Yeah, independent states. Yeah. That under a republic. They said like the United Republic, so it's basically going to be like the U.S.
All right.
Well, make of that what you will. Anyway, so and then we have a moment with Mako and Korra,
or they don't get back together.
They don't get back together. Yay!
Thank God.
Sometimes there's like a little moment there where you're like, wait a minute, where is this going? Oh no, we're good.
No, friendship.
Friendship. That's so much better.
Listen, Mako could probably find like a lovely woman who he will like actually get along with and like be a good boyfriend to.
Probably keep him in check.
Also, no, it'd be nice if just like he finds a girl he really likes and he like realizes he's gonna fuck it up, and then Korrasami, you're like, you're gonna fuck it up. Let us help you. That would be great. Do like a Cyrano de Bergerac thing.
Nice.
I feel like it could work. He was nice with Asami until he fucked it up.
Until he ruined it, yeah.
I just like was remembering like that one scene where they were on a date and he was talking about the scarf.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? And he
was like being really emo about his scarf.
Oh, I remember emo Mako.
Emo Mako. We don't miss him at all.
I miss him. I mean, I don't miss him, but he was better than boyfriend Mako.
True. But
Mako did a good job in this episode.
He did, but Mako kind of tells Korra that he's always going to be loyal to her and he would always follow her in a battle. And he's like, I will always have your back. And Korra's like, aw,
yeah,
that's nice.
Friendship.
Friends. We are really wrapping up here, huh? So Korra's kind of standing out looking at the new spirit portal, and Tenzin comes in and they have a very nice talk here. Just kind of really recapping everything, and it's a really good student mentor kind of talk here, which is really good. Tenzin talks to her about like Raiko's plans to expand the city, blah 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 blah. Anything good here?
I think Korra talked about like how like she needed to actually feel what suffering was before she could like understand compassion, and that's why like she didn't need to kill Kuvira because she understands compassion now.
Right.
Hensing a character arc from like the hot-headed Korra to this like nice mellow Korra.
Yeah.
Good job, show.
It's just a really touching kind of conversation.
You only fucked it up once.
And it looks like the episode's about to end.
Did
Until...
Did it? I didn't think it was going to end. Tommy shows up, and she looks on point.
She's so pretty. I love her. Love of my life.
That dress is great.
God. She's so pretty. Anyway, so Asami comes in and interrupts. This is payback for remembrances.
That whole episode. Anyway.
Asami comes up and tells Tenzin that Varric's trying to use a glider suit, and Tenzin's like, oh no, and like runs off. And then Korrasami kind of sit together and they have a moment where Korra wants to apologize for being gone for 3 years, and Asami, and it's very nice. And
they hug, and it's adorable.
Yeah. Asami talks about how she wouldn't have been able to handle losing her father and Korra in the same day, and they hug.
Who wouldn't?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's sweet. It's a nice hug.
Yeah, it's so nice. Oh, my God.
And then we mentioned the vacation thing.
Yeah, and then they mentioned that after all this shit that's went down, they could really go on a vacation. And of course, like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Like, where do you want to go? Just the two of us. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Asami's like, oh, we could go to the spirit world.
Great idea.
And that's what they do.
And the series closes on them going on a vacation to the spirit world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, finally, somebody gets to go on a vacation.
It's nice. Yeah. It's a really, the closing scene is a few moments is really beautiful. The music is amazing.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the music, it's the last few notes close on the ending theme of Avatar.
Oh, I don't remember the theme time.
We'll have to I'll have to replay it for you.
Okay.
But it's like that part like destroys me inside every time because like I'm huge with musical motifs. Like I always pick up on musical motifs. So like when I heard that for the first time, I was like, oh my God.
Aww.
But yeah, so Korra and Asami they hold hands.
And they go on a vacation and they leave off in the spirit world.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm really emotional, guys, just thinking about this.
Anything you want to talk about specifically? Because we haven't really we've alluded to it, but haven't actually discussed it.
We haven't talked about this. No, we haven't. So, guys, if you haven't figured it out already, SS Korrasami is fucking canon. Hell yeah. What are your thoughts, Dara?
So, I knew about this.
The real spoiler here is that you knew about this.
I knew about this. When did you think, when did you, think that I knew about this?
You told me you knew about this.
Did I?
Before we started the series, yeah.
Oh, I forgot that I told you about that.
Yeah.
Because I literally knew about this since the show ended.
Yeah.
Because everybody...
It was a big thing.
Everybody
was huge.
Like, for the most part, nothing about the show was spoiled for me, except for that.
The big ending thing.
The big thing, the Korrasami thing. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I think also you posted about it, too, on Facebook, so it's partially your fault.
I did. You didn't have to read it. I didn't make a post of his canon. I posted an article.
Yeah, you wrote, but... So, yeah, this was, the one thing that I knew about. That's why I'm kind of like, oh, well, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was... I think, because, I did read, a couple articles, when it first came out, how they handled it, and basically said, everybody said they handled it as well as Nickelodeon probably... Or, the creators probably could with Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
They handled it as well as they could, because, probably Nickelodeon didn't want to have to, deal with the lesbian thing.
So just from a fan perspective here, this was super interesting when this first came out. Like I said, this came out December 19th, my birthday, 2014. And when it first came out, that ending, some people were like, oh, this is this. I hit my microphone. Okay. People were like, oh, this is this. This is
canon.
This is a canon ship thing. This is a romantic gesture, that end where they hold hands and they look at each other and they go into the spirit world. This is a total,
that's pretty obvious.
It's a romantic gesture, and some people are like, no, they're just doing it like as friends because people are terrible. And like, no, it doesn't mean it's canon. And so for a couple of days, like, people are like throwing this back and forth. But then on Tumblr, both creators of the show, Brian Konietzko and Mike DiMartino, both made posts about it, basically saying, the title of the one was Korrasami is canon.
Get over it.
And they talked about kind of what it was like and how getting together was kind of planned. They started talking about it at the end of book 2, and then book 3 they were like, oh, we're going to do this.
I was about to ask, like, when did they start planning this? Like, was it book 4 or book 3?
Book 3, I think.
Because I was going to say, like, and this is why, like, I kind of wish sort of that this show was 22 episodes, because I feel like they could have maybe alluded to it slightly better. Again, I know that they were constricted, so like I'm not blaming anybody, and they had like a lot of plot. Like I feel like this show might have. I kind of wonder what would the show be like if it was like maybe except for season 1. Yeah. If like the rest of the seasons were 22 episodes. Yes. Other than we'd have to do 22 episodes of book 2. Okay, so but 1 and 2 are like like whatever how long they were. Yeah. And then the last 2 are 22 episodes.
Yeah. So
the end.
There it is. But yeah, no, I agree. They probably could have done it a little better, but they were restricted.
They were so, like if we think about how much technical constrictions that there were with like the budget and the fact that kids shows are not the best when it comes to LGBT stuff.
Well, they've gotten so just in the past 3 years so much better.
True.
It's I feel like when people look back at this, they're gonna be like, what? They could have done so much better. Look at all these shows. For example, even another Nickelodeon show just kind of low-key introduced LGBT character in one of their cartoons. I think it's The Loud House. Did The Loud House do it? Yes. Which is also but like right after this came out, kind of Steven Universe kind of struck a huge stride.
Oh, yeah, I heard with a ton.
So Steven Universe has a ton of LGBT characters, basically. Well, I say a ton, but
I mean, maybe like for the next Avatar show, they can actually like show them like maybe a wedding picture with them if they're still together, which I hope they are.
That'd be so
and
nice.
like maybe you could say they adopted a child.
Yeah. That'd be so nice. Anyway, but what was I trying to say with this? Oh yeah, so when people look back at this, they're not gonna. I'm not sure they'll be able to realize how big it was in that moment when it came out, and how this was basically not unheard of because it had been happening. I think Adventure Time had been more. Probably on the most progressive in the end of shows that were coming out during this time. Mm-hmm. But the shows that came out like right after this kind of were a little more upfront with it. I'm especially thinking about Steven Universe, and there's a couple more that I know have done it, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Steven Universe on Disney or Nickelodeon?
Cartoon Network.
I feel like
Cartoon Network is way more, allows a lot more.
I feel like Cartoon Network's kind of like because like Nickelodeon, I think like it might have changed. I haven't watched Nickelodeon since I was a kid. But, like, that's, like, super kid-friendly. And, like, Cartoon Network feels like it isn't. Mm-hmm. It might have been at a point.
Cartoon Network, they have a lot more range with their shows. Like, their more popular shows are rated TVPG as opposed to Nickelodeon and Disney, which have their main shows as TVY7.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have a lot more room to kind of play around with there, I feel. Another things I want to make sure that we clear during, in those kind of... post we want to make it clear that Korra and Asami are bisexual. They are not lesbians. Yes, that's what the creators say. Like they're not kind of discounting their relationships with Mako. Like they are both attracted to men and women.
That kind of works.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't think. I kind of just like it was kind of thing where like like they dated Mako and they obviously they both cared about him and like we're into it. But then there's just like that thing where it's like. I don't know. I'm not really great with like spectrum stuff. I guess I wasn't thinking like straight. I don't know if I was thinking like straight up lesbian. It's just like two people fell in love.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of.
It's all like a spectrum. So you can be as vague with it as you want, but some people be like, oh my god, they're lesbians, and you're like technically, they're bisexual.
I guess
so I want to make that a point.
There's like a bunch of stuff, especially in the '90s, where like somebody would like thinking of a couple shows that were like the character was straight for a while, and like they not only just dated like. The opposite sex, but we're only into that, and then they put them with like somebody of the same sex, and then they just like said they were gay.
Yeah, well,
that's like a '90s thing.
Yeah, and in a lot of the past, bisexual representation in media is like kind of sucked. because there's like the stereotype bisexual people are like super promiscuous or something, or like it doesn't exist, or it's just a code for you're going to be gay later, basically.
I remember when I believed that stereotype. I don't anymore.
Good. I'm glad.
Because, I read about it.
Read a book.
Or like watch some videos of people who are bisexual who were dating somebody.
Yeah, like
I have heard the joke. I've heard this one joke about bisexual people saying like eventually they pick a side.
Oh no.
No, it's just like a joke saying like they might like fall in love with like the one, and it's probably gonna be like somebody of like the one sex.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, most people are monogamous, so you're gonna end up with one, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be exclusively attracted to that one for one side, quote unquote, for the rest of your life.
I forget where I heard that joke from, but it was actually the whole thing was funny. Yeah. Anyway.
But a point I want to make here is that talking about how progressive kids shows have gotten in the past 3 years and how it's might make this look not as progressive in the long run. This is still the first non or should I say LGBT protagonist in a kids show.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, because if you think all these other shows, they're always the side characters. They're not the main character.
True.
Yeah, so all these other shows, like you can have a ton of, not straight characters, but this is, and I'm talking about kids animation exclusively, or just kids shows in general, because trying to think that they always have the main character usually being straight, maybe sometimes white too, and then all the other characters are like the quote-unquote diverse characters. But this is, we have a queer woman of color as a main character, and this is awesome as a protagonist. So I really want to take a moment to kind of just highlight that and say, I still have yet to see that. So, bam.
Yeah, and two people who are totally progressive in their spectrum stuff. We got Kaylin over here.
Hi.
I'm like...
Resident queer Kaylin Clinton.
And me, who is... not that interesting when it comes to her sexuality.
Yeah, that's all right.
I know what I like.
Hey, you know what you like. I know what I like. It's all good.
It's all good.
Anyway, so yeah, so we got a chance to talk about that. I think I kind of hijacked that just because that's something that's important to me.
Well, you know more about it than I did, so.
Yeah, so you have any other thoughts on that?
On the whole thing?
Or just that's particular, then we'll kind of go back and
it's good. I'm happy about it. Like, because like it seemed like for a long time everybody's like we gotta shelter our kids from these queer people.
Yeah,
because it's all disgusting, and you gotta like all they do is just have sex all the time. And I'm like, I mean that was probably the case like when they had to like be in the deep in the closet.
Yeah,
but now it's like we're more open, and it's better.
Yeah. Woo, progress.
It's better for people because, like, now, like, it's okay. Like, I'm like, I mean, my thing is just, like, I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. You're happy? Cool. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, like, and, like, I kind of, like, the kid shows are kind of realizing, like, oh, no, like, we don't actually, like, there's some people out there who are like, we need to shelter our kids.
Well, yeah, it's still, like, not great with a lot of the parents out there. But the people who are making shows these days aren't straight.
Yeah.
It's those artsy types. Hello.
There are the parents out there who like really don't give a shit and like they want their kids to be exposed to everything.
Yeah.
To probably like in case like their kid needs to like come out one day and then like it's not even like coming out because like they'll be okay with it.
Right, exactly. Like stuff like this is so important for little kids because it's a kid's show and when you see this it's like, yeah, so it's interesting. Also, the people who saw Korrasami coming is super interesting. It's definitely people who I feel like are not straight are like, oh yeah, like saw it coming like a mile away just because it's easier to pick up on those things. Mm-hmm. I feel like people who maybe aren't or who aren't surrounded by a lot of like LGBT stuff won't get it as easily because it's like. Because we're so used to seeing narratives with romance go a certain way in shows, like guy meets girl, they do this, or they look at each other like this, and we know. But because we can't do that a lot sometimes with the younger shows, you have to kind of look for it in different ways. And that is kind of apparent with how people would respond to when the series ended. Like, that wasn't romantic at all, and other people being like, oh, yeah, it was.
Listen, look, I do feel a bit bad.
Yeah.
For you. You don't get to be with Asami. Even though she's a cartoon. I'm so sorry, honey.
It's all right. Listen, I'm a huge Korrasami shipper, so I'll take it. If Asami Sato is only allowed to be with one other person if it's not me, and that's Korra, so we're good.
I just want Asami to do my hair, honestly.
Honestly. Oh, God, I love her so much. Anyway, so let's I think we spent enough time on that. So let's talk about other stuff from book 4 as a whole.
Hooray!
There's a lot to talk about here. Where do we start? I think we had some, let's talk about the antagonist. I think we both had some thoughts about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about
I've been
Kuvira.
thinking about this the last couple of days, like what I thought about her. Okay, so I don't know if people are going to get mad at me about this.
No, go for it.
I think she's like the second worst, but she's way better than Unalak.
Right.
Yes. Like she's like up to, but I think Amon and the Awesome Gang were better.
Yeah, so give me some reasons. Let's rank them out.
Here's the thing. I like the fact that there's a female antagonist.
Yes.
Because we don't get much of those. Mm-hmm. Although, hint for our next show, there's going to be a lot of them.
Oh, I'm excited.
Fair amount. Well, yeah, fair amount. And I like the fact that she is a stone cold bitch.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest problem is just, like, I never fully understood her motivations.
Right.
And, like, at the end, it just kind of, like, we got her motivation, but it felt really, like, it dumped on us. And it was just kind of like, oh, like, she just, like, I'm like, why did she want to take over the Earth Kingdom? Mm-hmm. Because it didn't, like, feel like there was a good reason. Like, everybody else, even Unalak, for, like, despite how terrible he was, like, his motivation was that he was evil.
Yeah.
Which is a bad...
Basically.
Which is bad. But, like, with her, I'm just kind of like, I don't get her motivation. Like, at the end where they were basically explaining just, like, you felt like the Earth Kingdom was, like, being abandoned by everybody, especially this, like, woman who raised you. And so, like, you were abandoned, so you didn't want that to happen. But that felt really, like, dumped on us. And, like, it didn't feel like we, like, learned that until just that. Like, we knew,
exactly.
We knew that her parents abandoned her, but, like, she was raised by Sue, who obviously loved her. Mm-hmm. And it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't understand, like, why all these people, like, were, like, going with her. I don't know. But, like, I think the reason that, like, I do like her is just the fact that, like, mainly just, like, the way that, like, they portrayed her as, like, just, like, this, like, stone of a woman.
Yeah.
And Zelda Williams did a really good job with that.
Yes. And
that's why I liked her, because, like, I just liked her personality. But, like, everybody else, like, I either, like, with Amon and the Awesome Gang, I liked them. I thought they were interesting, and I understood why they were doing what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And with Kuvira, just, like, I didn't until too late, and even then, I'm kind of just, like... And even the idea of, like, the balancing, like, she's a lot like Korra, I'm like, yeah, but I felt like you didn't really give that away until the last minute. Like,
yes.
Like I said, if I feel like the show was... If the season was 22 episodes, they probably could have done that.
Yeah.
And maybe, not cut the budget. Right. I kind of feel bad. I felt bad for saying that, but, like, I feel like if they had the budget that they wanted and maybe could do longer seasons... Yeah. She would have been a much better villain.
Mm-hmm. I agree with everything you just said.
Hooray!
That's awesome. You touched on, like, all of my points. Yeah, because it's so weird because the thing with the Awesome Gang, the Red Lotus Gang, was that, like, you were supposed to not know what they wanted until the very end because they were constantly being like, well, what is that you want? Like, I don't understand. And they were purposefully keeping it a secret until those last few episodes. And here, we didn't need that. This season, we could have had that reasoning early on, and it wasn't, and they don't have to spoon feed it to us, but we're supposed to be able to draw it ourselves, and they didn't really spell it out until those last few minutes when they're like, oh crap, we need a reason, we can throw it out there. Well, the whole thing with drawing comparisons to Kuvira's backstory, we could have had that in a flashback in, like, earlier episodes. We could have seen, like, maybe, like, a second of, like, Kuvira being young, and we're like, and some kind of parallel, be like, oh, she does because this is a direct result of this moment when she was a kid or something like that. We really don't see it.
Yeah, and I lost my train of thought. Oh, well, yeah, and, like, they meant, obviously there was, like, the one episode, I think it was, like, the Battle of Zafu or something, where they mentioned that, like, obviously her parents, it was abandoned, right? Like, they didn't die.
Right, she was abandoned. That's her whole thing. She's like, even her own parents didn't want her.
She got, like, abandonment, which is fine, but, like, and the fact that, like, Sue was, like, she was basically raised with the family, or just, like, Sue kind of took care of her?
I don't know the exact situation. Probably, like, raised with the I imagine. I'm not even sure if she's raised at like a kid or, like, just as a protege kind of thing. So I don't really know.
Yeah. So, like, if she was, like, raised, like, with Sue as, like, kind of like the mother figure, I feel like Sue is probably good, like, mother figure, like that. And, like, it just seemed like, okay, well, then why are you, like, why? I mean, I get, like, obviously being abandoned kind of sucks, but, like, I feel like if you have somebody who probably loved you your entire life, I don't know. I've never been abandoned by my parents. I don't know the exact feeling.
Can't relate.
But yeah, but, like, I don't even, like, how young was she? If she was, like, like a kid, I kind of get it more. But if she was like a baby or like a toddler, you might not even remember.
Yeah.
And like the fact that she was like, well, like Sue wouldn't like help rule the earth kingdom, so I'm gonna do it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, and that like makes sense, but they definitely didn't. It could have been paced out better as far and explained.
It kind of felt like they were more focused on Korra. You know why? Oh my god, why didn't they like? Because like Korra was like trying to get better. They could have just like done like a balancing where they were kind of like showing both of them, and like there could have been like plot points. They probably could have just there was a good plot points, but like I feel like this season might have been a bit more interesting if they kind of did like a thing where they focused mainly on the Kuvira and Korra and showing them kind of like her getting better and like understanding Kuvira and then like seeing the balance that they need.
Those constant parallels between the two instead of
I feel like that probably and like
that cool.
There was some there was some other plot lines of like Sadie's getting captured and like that whole thing that were good and like I enjoyed them, but I'm kind of just like, okay, like maybe this would have been better. Yeah, that's good. No, that would have been really cool to see. I think like having this is why I should write television.
Get on this, Daryl. Let's go. Let's write a show.
No.
Oh my god.
I feel like we probably could because like I'm pretty good at like coming up with ideas, and you're a way better writer than I am.
I'm a half decent writer, I like to think. So, but yeah. No, I totally agree with everything you said. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Now I'm trying to think like where I put, because I think in all of the, we should probably talk about this more in our live stream, but I think out of all the antagonists, I know that Red Lotus gang is the best.
They are, yes.
But then second place, I switch between Kuvira and Amon. Certain things one does better than the other. I think they go back and forth for me personally.
I mean, so yeah. I get,
yeah.
I really liked Amon, and I just like the way he like held himself. And again, unlike Kuvira, like they did like a whole backstory with him, and I understood why he hated benders.
Yeah,
that was his whole thing. Even though he was a bender, and like I fully understood why he was doing what he was doing.
Right.
And so,
yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. Like again, like I think Kuvira's second worst, but she's not a bad villain.
No. And another thing you mentioned that another thing I really love about her, she's so like kind of being that stone cold bee. Is that like she doesn't showcase emotions, and that's I feel like so rare for a female character. Because females are like usually paired as being more emotional, even when even female antagonists I feel like are always kind of in so many narratives are kind of spurned like that kind of phrasing, like hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Like it's always because like somebody did something to a woman and then she becomes a villain. Even if she's like badass, it's still because somebody fucked her over, usually a man. And this isn't like that at all. Like she is completely independent of anyone else. And even in her most kind of vulnerable moments, even when we see her in the scenes with Batar Jr., I like even at the emotional part, she's not emotional. You can tell she has emotion, but she's not overly emotional. I think that's really cool and something that we don't get to see a lot.
That was the story I was wondering if she's actually like in love with him or just like faking it.
I think she was to an extent, but I think she's more married to her cause, and so it was way easier, probably easier than it should have been for her to be like, okay, this is more important, bye.
Yeah.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. What are some other book 4 things that we want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, it was good. Yeah. I still think I won't really talk about this as a whole, but I kind of like the whole thing of like Korra and like the PTSD thing and like having to deal with that and like the fact that it wasn't just getting the metal out that was the problem, and that it did actually take like it took a good chunk of the season for her to fully get better. Also, I have a question. I keep forgetting about it, and like it might be more of a live stream thing. Yeah, but I feel like I'm gonna forget if I don't say it now. Yeah, is she connected back with her other avatar spirits? And if not, is there gonna be another avatar?
There's going to be another avatar. That's and the other avatars I feel like are there. I think probably, like, but the connection's just severed, and so I think it's still severed. We don't really get closure on that. That's another thing that I always forget about, that we never get closure on that. She doesn't reconnect with her past lives.
Yeah, I always got confused.
But the avatar spirit is still going as long as like Rava is connected to.
So then, like with the next avatar, is she only going to be connected? Are they only going to be connected to Korra?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll cover that in our pitches.
I just like literally like after, because I thought that was like a big deal, and then we never brought it up again.
Yeah.
I know more shit was going on, but that's besides the point.
Mm-hmm. A lot of shit was going on.
Yeah.
A lot of shit was going down. What are some things that, what stands out to you of this season? What in this season specifically stands out to you?
Well, there was this awful clip show.
Oh yeah? Tell me more.
It was so bad, and we just like recap stuff I didn't care about. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it feels like the season just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't bad or anything. I don't know. It was a solid season. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It kind of sucks that like I feel like if they had their budget, it could have been a ton better, but it wasn't. Yeah. Like I think it's better than season 1. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was good. Like I like the thing of like exploring PTSD. I guess I wish there was more. Yeah. Because it felt like they had a lot of ideas and not enough time to do them.
Yeah. Most of the problems stemming from, I think, this season comes with just not having enough, just not exploring things enough. Being like, oh, this is a really cool tangent. Let's go into it more, but we don't have enough time to do it. Okay.
Which is like kind of I kind of hate that when shows do that, where they explore something and then they don't, but like there was enough stuff that they did explore and concluded. Right. Especially like the PTS, I keep forgetting about that comment. Somebody said it was like PTSS, and I keep forgetting. PTSS. What? Yeah. Yeah. So, and I feel like that was actually pretty well handled, considering. And like, I thought that they weren't going to handle it well for a while, and then they did, and I'm like, great.
Yeah. So, but then it was good.
There might have been also like too much fighting this season. I feel like I kind of like the fighting was good, but I kind of wanted more like characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I like. This show has such good fight scenes, though. Like
they do.
They're so creative too, because not a lot of shows have like have the concept of bending, because it's not just people controlling elements like X-Men style. It is it's using martial art as a way to control bending, which is not super common. So the more we get to see of that, I'm fine with that. That's just me.
Dude, is there an X-Men that can control all the elements?
Why the fuck not? Rami Malek can in the fucking Breaking Dawn movie, the Twilight movie.
I didn't see that. I've only seen 2 of them.
Yeah, the very last one. I'm pretty sure it's Rami Malek.
I know he's in it.
Yeah. He plays.
There's a lot
he plays Ben, the guy who can control the elements. Actually, I've never seen the movie. I read the book though.
Why'd you read the book?
I was like 13. Give me a break.
So was I, and I still only read. Listen, I've only read like 2 of those. I read 2 of those books, and I've only seen 2 of the movies. Mm-hmm. Although I feel like I should probably sell them eventually.
Probably eventually.
I do love myself because, like, literally I first heard about the books and then I saw the teaser for the first movie. Yeah. And I realized how the book was going to end. And then I read the book and I was pretty much right.
Nice.
Oh, Twilight. Remember that time? I remember it.
Yeah.
That was a solid, not solid time. Those actors are doing fine.
They're doing all right.
Some of them are.
Yeah, sure. Like what else? Oh, what are some things that you really didn't like about the season?
It was a clip show. There's nothing I didn't. There wasn't anything I super disliked. There wasn't anything like I loved. Yeah. It was kind of like it was a good, solid season. Mm-hmm. Like there's probably a couple episodes like I would go back to and stuff. Yeah. But it was a solid season. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that somebody's finally going on a vacation after. Yay! All of this crap. Yay! Hopefully, Korrasami will adopt a beautiful little baby.
That's basically.
Or maybe they have in vitro there.
Who knows? It's the Avatar world. Look, anything is possible.
Here's the thing. Here's the biggest problem with like Korrasami being together is like they need, and hopefully they have an in vitro because we need those Asami genes to keep going.
God, yes, we do. Hello.
That's the only thing. So that's why I hope, I hope those genes still exist. And like Korra's pretty. Like Korra's definitely pretty too. But like, we need more people with Asami hair.
Oh God, I love Asami. Anyway, all right, keeping it in my pants. So. Fuck, what was I saying? Anyway.
What are your thoughts on this season? Do you agree with me or?
Yeah, no, things that stand out that I love. Korrasami.
Is that it?
I was a huge Korrasami ship when this show first came out.
When did that ship like start? Was like right away?
I think it started out as kind of like a crack ship in the first season, and then after the first season ended, and everybody was kind of done with Korramaki. Everyone's like, "Wait, guys, why don't we just like take the two girls and ship them together?" And everyone was like, "Holy shit, that's genius! Let's do it." And so I think between book 2 and book 3, it started getting a lot of traction. And then when book 3 premiered and they had that moment in the first episode, everyone's like, "Oh hell yes, oh hell yes!" And I think I did that. I think it was after the first season was over. I'm like, "This is dumb. I want to get another ship." And then I was like, "Oh, now I ship this. Great, awesome." And then I haven't left since. So it's been a great ride, everyone. I'm having a real good time.
Also, quick question, which has nothing to do with the show. What I like, not the drug crack, but what does like crack mean?
Oh, like a crack ship? A crack ship is like...
well, I see like videos that say like this show and then crack, and I'm like, what does that mean?
There's different things. Crack has a lot of different meanings in fandom, but a crack ship is like a ship that is kind of like has no basis, absolutely no basis, and a lot of times it's done for shits and giggles. When you see a show crack, it's usually a comedic video with like audio clips from like different shows or like comedy things, and then dubbed over a show. So that those are your two different types.
I just thought it was like if it wasn't actually canon, you just called it a ship, and then if it became canon, you just called it canon. No. Or I know there's like AU, which is like alternate universe.
Yeah, no, a ship in general is just a relationship. So a ship can be canon or non-canon. It can be ridiculous. It can be a slash ship. Slash is kind of like crack, but slash is usually
sexual, right?
Yeah, basically.
I knew that. As you guys can see, I don't read any fanfic.
I've been fandoming since 2004.
See, my type of thing is just like I like what the show does.
Yeah.
Like if ever I'm gonna like imagine like any fanfic, I'm usually just gonna put myself in it. I do like self-insert stuff.
It's just like you showing up to the plot with like Starbucks in hand, being like, "Hey guys, what did I miss?"
Well, no, I put myself in it as a character who has powers. Obviously.
Obviously.
But I don't really write it down. It's just kind of like, I'm just gonna, like, when I'm, like, bored, just, like, think about it. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it's my mind. Who cares?
Yeah.
But, so I don't really, and, like, my other thing is just kind of, like, if it's, like, if it's in the show, I'm just, like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I hate it, but, like, for the most part, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with what the show does, or the movie, or I don't really read anything else.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. That's why I'm not really into fanfic. Like, I appreciate it, and some of them are probably really well written.
Yeah.
Like, there's this Zootopia comic out there.
Stop. Oh, God, Dara. We left that in 2017. We did not bring that with us into 2018. Not that evil. Keep it there. Let the past die.
I didn't read it. I just, like, watched the Bible Reloaded video of it. Or Hugo and Jake, whatever they're called now.
Yeah.
And, like, it doesn't seem anti-abortion, though. It just seems like these two people should have had a conversation. Guys, out there, if you're in a relationship with somebody and it's going somewhere, have a conversation about children. Whether you want them or not, you need to have that conversation.
Oh my God. Okay. Yep. We're not going to talk about this.
We have a comment corner, don't we?
We do. I don't think I talked about. Did I talk about my negatives for? No. Well,
you didn't.
My negatives for this season, I think I can sum up with is stuff that I want in the overall series. We'll talk about that in the live stream. So that's a plug for the live stream, everyone. January 21st, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, send us your questions.
Yep.
So speaking of questions and comments, we have a comment corner.
I gotta get my laptop here. We're almost at 50,000 total views.
Oh shit! Thanks everyone.
There's one about the baby. I don't know if he's had that one.
Read the baby one.
Here's the thing that gets me. Pema had the baby in the last season, and it was confirmed that this one starts 3 years after Korra's fight with the Red Lotus. So why is Tenzin's baby still a baby? He or she should be walking taller by now, 3 years after the birth. Do you think we would notice a Nickelodeon?
There's four upvotes. That's by Pat the Man. And yeah, well, we didn't see. Yeah, really don't see Rohan running around until like that last episode.
And he looks about 3. He's like
3 years old.
Yeah.
We're always bitter about the baby.
The thing that I said, not good, no, not good, not good, not good. Tree.
That's Catherine Ice Johnson. Thank you for quoting us.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Shadow Lover. Of all the avatars I've worked with, wait, did she train with more besides anime? Tenzin's not an avatar.
Yeah.
I think it's just the one. Yeah. I think there was the only one. She means only Korra and Aang.
Yeah, and that's Nicholas. who responded. Thank you for answering. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who answers people's questions for us, because we usually don't get around to them until Comment Corner. So thanks for doing the Lord's work for us.
People are saying we talk over the dialogue and miss important details. They missed a key point Kuvira made. I think I pointed out that I missed that point. I don't know what the point was. I think that's from
That's a book 4 one. I see.
I forgot what episode that was. It looks like not the clip show, probably the one before that. I might have missed something. Something about the audio and the ambient sound. Something got screwed over there.
Yeah, no, we fixed that. If you guys listen to our reviews, which is you should, because you're listening to one right now, you'll see that we had audio issues last time, so we got that fixed. Don't worry.
Yeah, somebody called me annoying.
Aww.
Again, if you think I'm annoying, can you tell me why I'm annoying? And if it's like my voice, I'm sorry. Whatever.
Maybe she's born with it.
I am.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Oh no. I like Denzen's son Dave, who says, I think you commented on one of our videos before, hi, and who says, oh, come on, you're telegraphing too obviously. And I think that's talking about me and how every time Korrasami interact, my eyebrows go up and down.
You do.
Because I love them so much. I'm sorry.
It's one from Knowing Your History, which we will say later.
Oh, yeah, we're going to know your history. If you're listening, stay tuned, because boy, do we have a surprise for you.
Somebody said, love your reaction.
I think that's Michaela Diaz. She comments on a lot of our stuff, so thanks, Michaela. We really appreciate your comments.
Juan Pierre Ruth, Korra stiff arm to Prince whose face is everything.
True.
Some stuff from the clip show. I think that's one,
Oh, yeah, we have some clip show comments, and let's get the
Varric's rendition of the story almost made up for the fact that it's a clip show.
Almost.
From Ember Quill.
Ember Quill, who is also a frequent commenter, so thank you, Ember Quill.
Know Your History also said, yep, Nick straight up fucked up the show with this one with budget cuts. True. Anita Norris, I deal with this episode considering the finale we got. It was a cost-saving measure, and I think it was well worth it. I'd give her that.
It was worth it in the end. I mean, we have... everyone has mixed feelings about the clip show, but it's fine. It's could have been a lot worse. So yeah, it is worth it in the end with the ending that we got.
Michaela Diaz says we're funny. Yay.
Thanks, Michaela.
I'm gonna fuck that name up.
I'm gonna say Nide Beni Orika Nenji.
Sure.
I'm very sorry.
I like that Kuvira is confident and has the voice of a leader. She's fearless, skilled, and determined to succeed.
She is a badass.
She is. I'll give her that. We have a thread here. I like this one. It's not really
let's give some context.
Oh, yeah. This was Opal and Bolin were kind of, not doing great. Mm-hmm. And
that's when Opal wanted Bolin to come with her to help for your family, right?
Yeah, and I got mad because it seemed manipulative.
And this comment is by Time Monkey.
It says, it's not really manipulative. He wants a way to make it up to her and her family being captured. It's partially his fault. So helping to free them makes sense. And like Lynn said, it's a family matter, and he wants to be part of the family. Then he has an obligation to help them. Dre Ferreira says it is manipulative, and then Time Monkey comes in and says if she wasn't actually willing to forgive him, it would be.
That's a good point.
It's a good point, but the fact that the matter is if to me it felt like we need more help. This guy wants to get on my good side again. Mm-hmm. Let me just let him do that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's manipulative. Mm-hmm. Korra is the best boy.
Korra is the best boy.
Yay, more.
Boy?
Solitary conversation.
Oh, can I do this? I'll read this one. This is a lot.
You don't need to read the whole. I mean, they like us, and basically they said we love the show, and they like the way that we talk about stuff and the idea.
Thank you.
And then other stuff.
And then they have a comment about the romance stuff. So wait, let me try to summarize this because it's a long comment. This is on. Our review of...
the 3-episode review.
Yeah, the 3-episode review, and this is a solitary conversationalist. Yeah. Yep, solitary conversationalist. So if you want to check that out, go over there. It's a very good comment, and we very much appreciate it. Is it basically how Mako fucked up?
No.
No.
I just want to give my thoughts, not really directing it all against series, just my feelings. Basically saying Korra wasn't a great girlfriend to Mako either. Korra, forceful spirit, added only aggravated Mako's stupidity of all things on the romantic kind. The two were just a terrible pair. And basically saying that.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah. I know we bash Mako a lot, but I totally agree.
Yeah, no. He was not the single person at fault. Now, he fucked up a lot of the time, but he didn't fuck up all the time.
No, because especially Korra was just super hot-headed and the thing, I think I pointed out to one point in Nier's book too, when they were, together, and Mako was just saying like, "Oh, I'm on your side," and she's like, "No, I want a real opinion," which I agree with. But like, she was like if he said anything that like she didn't agree with, she just like went off.
Yeah.
So I get it and I agree.
Yeah. But he also says that no one got off worse than Asami, who did nothing wrong yet got screwed over all throughout the show.
Oh,
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. Will always be my favorite character next to Tenzin. I agree. She's my favorite character.
Asami did do nothing wrong.
Asami did nothing wrong.
No. Which is weird. I remember like when she was first introduced, I'm like, she's gonna be the bitch character, isn't she? And then she never was.
She was the best character.
She was. She was so nice.
So thank you for that comment.
Flash Manic posted actually one comment twice.
Yeah.
Well, first they said nice video, and then they said BTW, they are attacking Republic City because it was a part of the Earth Kingdom, but Aang and Zuko built a city on it. Yeah. We've
discussed that before, the whole history of Republic City.
Yeah. Something else that said...
Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka, isn't that the Star Wars character? I think. / Fulcrum says, good. Think.
Allison Wang just says, quoted us when we said men. I totally forgot we did that.
You're confused about the comment. Like, I don't get this comment. Like, no, we said that in the show. We definitely talk about men like that. We're like, men.
I like this one saying from Augustine De Palma. I can't forgive you skipped the fight between Sue and Kuvira.
That has 10 upvotes, so a lot of people agreed with that.
The fight was a masterpiece, but then Juan Pierre Roux said that fight was a masterpiece, but they likely had to cut it due to the constrictions on reactions, and Kieran Dog said, seriously, best fight in the season, or just like that, sad face.
So, sorry about that, guys.
My thing is just, like, I kind of don't focus on, like, what's going on in the episode, kind of, like, our reaction, and I think during that fight scene, we were just, like, not really doing much. Mm-hmm. So, like, if we're not doing much, like, I think because I edited that one, if we're not doing much, I don't put it in, because it just feels kind of boring. So, like, we were probably just, like, too engrossed for it to be entertaining, so I'm like...
Yeah, if it's really good, I mean, sometimes we might not include it, because it's not a reaction. Like, people watch things like to see reactions, and if we're not reacting, is there a point of putting it in?
Yeah, so like here's the thing, guys, it was a great fight, but we just didn't really react to it. Like, we agree. And if you want to see that fight scene, it's probably somebody posted it on YouTube.
Yeah. Probably.
But thanks for the comment.
We appreciate it.
I hope it sounds like you were like the way you worded it kind of sounded like you were like being a bit jokey. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and if you weren't, we're sorry. Whoops.
We need to go back to something else. The Known Your History comment.
Oh yes.
Which his comment was, do you guys have any plans for your next show? Here's the thing, I have the power back now.
There has the power.
Hooray! Which probably means me less talking in the reactions because I'm going to be watching Kaylin the whole time. So, this is a show. We're going back to live action and science fiction. I'm picking science fiction shows.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I'm more of a fantasy person. Mm-hmm. But I've been picking sci-fi shows. This one's been more sci-fi. This show ended last year, actually. And it's also a bit more adult than Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Tiny bit more adult. But it's a really good show. It's got, like, it's a bit dark, a bit weird. There's a lot of women in it, which I know Kaylin really likes. Not for sexual reasons. It's like she likes shows with, like, powerful women, which this show has a ton of them. There's some LGBT stuff, and there's just, like, a bunch of weird science-y stuff. There's a lot of female villains. Some of them might be played by the same person. Guys.
Cue the music.
Guys, we're talking, the next show we're talking about is Orphan Black.
Yay! I've never seen it, obviously.
What do you know about this show?
There's clones.
Anything else?
They're all played by the same person, Tatiana Maslany, right?
Yes.
That's all I know about the show.
Hooray! This is going to be great.
She got an Emmy for it, didn't she?
She did.
I'm looking forward to it.
She did. She got, like, because for a while people were like, she needs to win an Emmy. That was, like, the weird year for the Emmy, because I remember she won it, and then for Best Actor in a Drama, it was Rami Malek who won. That was a weird year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
And we were also happy that she won, because she's so good.
Yay.
She is the queen of my heart. She will be a queen of Kaylin's by the end of the show.
I'm sure.
I am sure. I feel like you're really going to like this show. I hope you guys like it, too. Like, if you came in through Legend of Korra, I'm really happy about that. Please say who Orphan Black if you've seen that show and you really like it, or if you've never seen it before, watch it with us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the whole show isn't just for fans to watch a fan reaction. It's an excuse for you to get something off off your watch list. So if you aren't a fan or if you're not familiar with it, you can join me on the first reaction side.
Yeah.
And you can react to it with me, and we can watch it together. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the show was originally on BBC America. So it might still be there. I know seasons 1 through... It's 5 seasons. Mm-hmm. Seasons 1 through 4 are on Amazon Prime for free. I don't think season 5 is. Or you can get them on DVD. Because they come out pretty quickly. But the show's over. It's 10 episodes per season, so we don't have to be weird with the scheduling.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say any more about the show because it's awesome. And I'm really excited. And I have the power back, guys. I'm so happy.
So I'm looking forward to it too. It's gonna be a shame not to have the power anymore, but I'm excited to watch something I haven't seen before.
Yay!
So, yay! Sounds like we're wrapping up here, right?
All right, guys.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna wrap this up for the last time for probably another 8 months.
It might be.
So, on the one final time of having the power, just a reminder, our live stream that we keep talking about, if you have any of your questions about the Legend of Korra finale, Legend of Korra the series, or Avatar Last Airbender, or Firefly, you can ask all those questions. You can leave them in this video, leave them in our reaction, leave them in our announcement video. You can tweet them at us. We are on Twitter at Witty Close. You can Facebook them to us. We are on Facebook. We are Witty Close Productions on there. Shoot us an email. We are wittyclose@gmail.com. We also have a Patreon if you ever feel like going out there. We are Witty Close on there. Yeah, and join us. We'll be on YouTube. We'll post the link, but we'll keep you guys updated on where to find us. And that is Sunday, January 21st, 2018, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.